Hello there, carers. My name is Charlie. I manage breathing space at the London Buddhist Centre, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about stress. So we run mindfulness programs and retreats and groups for carers to help them cope with some of the daily stresses of life. And I know it's stressful being a carer. It's a bit like spinning many plates, and then occasionally all the plates come crashing down all at once. I remember when I was looking after my dad, just getting him from bed to the commode and back again was just a whole operation. So I understand that just some of those daily tasks can be a real stress. And then of course other things come on top of that, and it can be overwhelming at times. So mindfulness can help with stress. It's not going to make stress disappear. It's not a magic pill that just makes stress go completely. But it can offer us some techniques, some tools to just have a little bit of a bigger perspective. And when the stress arises, gives us a means to be with it that doesn't then make it worse. It's all too easy to make stressful situations worse for ourselves. As a little example, which you'll probably be familiar with. You're in the supermarket, you haven't got much time, perhaps you're late for an appointment already, and you get to the supermarket checkout and there's already quite a long queue, and it looks like the people in front of you, they're not too bothered about moving things along quickly. Perhaps the cashier's made a bit of a mistake, or someone needs to go back and fetch something, and you can just notice the stress arising. So perhaps your heart starts to beat a little bit faster, or you tense up in your muscles, or perhaps there's a little knot in your stomach or a lump in your throat. And of course you start thinking, don't you? You start worrying about whether you're going to be able to get to that appointment. You might feel a range of emotions, anger, resentment towards the people in front of you. You might even snap at someone, or in a hurry to get your shopping out, you might break a box of eggs or something like that. So that's just what the mind does, is that it proliferates. When we enter into a stressful situation, we have our habitual ways of coping, and often they make the situation worse. So what mindfulness can do for us is just give us another perspective, another way of dealing with those stressful situations when they arise. So what we're going to be doing today is a 3-stage breathing space, which is a great practice that you can do in under a minute whenever you're in a stressful situation like that. And it helps to just scale down some of the extra stress that we pile on top of ourselves, some of those negative thoughts, the self-blame, the criticism, and some of those behaviors and emotions that can cause us a lot of pain. So say you're in that situation in the supermarket, you notice your heart starting to race, you start thinking about whether you're going to be able to make your appointment. At that point you notice, here's an opportunity. I'm getting stressed, I can feel it in my body. And then instead of proliferating in thought and thinking about what's going to happen next and catastrophizing in your mind and thinking of all the worst possibilities and blaming yourself for the situation, you come back to the basic sensations in the body, and you do that with the breath. So the breath in mindfulness is a really lovely tool, really helpful tool for just coming back to our primary experience. So you might begin to feel the breath in your tummy. You breathe deeply into your belly. You do that 3 or 4 times, noticing as you breathe in, the belly expands. As you breathe out, the belly subsides. You just do that 2, 3, 4 times. And just notice the effect that has on the body. You can notice myself just doing that now. You can do it as I'm talking to you. It has a calming effect on the whole nervous system. What you're doing there is activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calming system in the body, which helps us get away from some of the adrenaline, some of the cortisol that perhaps is running around your body when you're stressed. So just coming back to the basic sensations of the body, the breath around the belly, breathing in and breathing out. And what you might find as you do that is more clarity emerges. So instead of reacting on our usual habitual tendencies, our habitual habits of going off into thought, you might ask the person in front of you, look, I'm running late, I really need to get to this appointment, would you mind if I go in front of you? Or you might be able to send a text message to a friend to help, or perhaps you could give a call to the appointment, let them know that you'll be late. It just gives us a little bit more perspective, a little bit broader awareness. What we're doing when we practice mindfulness is we're trying to remove some of the clouds that busy our mind to give us a clearer view of the whole situation. And sometimes it might be that we need to take action, and then sometimes it might be that we just need to pause and actually to reflect. At the moment, I don't need to stress out about this. You can just do one thing at a time. You can only ever do one thing at a time. Come back to the basic sensations of the body and feel the breath in the belly. So you could give that a go just now, or whenever you find yourself in a stressful situation, and see what you notice. See what you notice. It's a practice that you can keep coming back to, and I hope that gives you just a little tool to work with stress in the moment when it arises.